The episode that aired last week, so Aisha's episode is this week and it's dope. Last week was Chris and Moji, and that particular episode is exactly what I am really inviting more of and beyond. So that episode was a result of Chris and Moji connecting with things that Genesis said in a previous episode, and then me realizing that it would be great to have both of their perspectives together on it. So we put together a quick little panel, and we really wanted to invite Genesis into that conversation as well, and Natalie from Black World Schoolers. But we didn't because Moji, we're still sorting through like the best way to do Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi for Moji. She's in West Africa. She's in Benin. And we're in the US. So in Georgia. So I did that, and Juan was able to stitch that together. That's our audio guru. He was able to stitch that together from WhatsApp messages. But then there'll be other times where Wi-Fi won't be a problem, and we can get on a group discussion that may or may not include me in the discussion, but it expands, it moves beyond, it continues the conversation and broadens it. And if you heard me talk at the beginning of this season, maybe 6 or so episodes ago, I don't remember, I was saying that I'm really interested in moving beyond the first transition from schoolish to self-directed, meaning, not forcing curriculum, like moving beyond that one to the 8 bazillion other layered ass layers of things that happen when you make the decision to raise free people, and recognize that in that people is self, and that struggle is its own path, in addition to and in relationship to the one that you have with children. Some of you might remember, some of you from my Make It Happen family, because I'm going to put the video in there too, that I was speaking very recently about the broadening, of the episodes, moving beyond. And then people commented directly on that saying, yes, I've been talking about that too in my circles. Then people DM'd me as a result of it, and on Instagram. Yeah, because that's the only place, right? Both accounts on Instagram. Being really grateful for the conversations that are moving beyond the thing that generally right now, because most people are in that first level transition, most people are thinking about that, like, well, then how will my kids learn? And that's important. And that conversation is happening in different spaces. And we talk about that on the podcast too. But what I need to own so that we can extend this conversation is that I'm past that. And there are many of us that are past that. And the discussions about being past that are really valid too for the people who are just in that first level of transition, because it allows them the same thing that it allowed for me or Tiersa, who's going to be on the podcast soon. We were just having a conversation about what finding other people who are further along in their unschooling journey, like how much that serves you at any stage in your journey. So it's not about leaving out where people are. I guess I'm thinking this through for myself and making sure that I don't feel like we're leaving people out who really want to be about this life and want to be in community with people who are really in practice with it, who are comfortably uncomfortable in the practice. That our lessons, our conversations, the things we grapple with, the things we understand now, but very much the things we grapple with, those are important for us. And they're important for people who are still, what about math? And sometimes we are them same people that are like, what about math? Because the shit brings you in and out of the ways that pervasive whiteness and schoolishness, stomp through our brain space and try to be louder than what we know. So here is where I'm really hoping that we can continue that that when you hear something about an episode that's like, yo, this shit is reaching me, I want to talk about it, that you come right here inside our village and say, hey, let's get a panel together about this. And so that myself and Fatima and Juan and the folks on our team can facilitate that. So you could talk about, what happens when you do hear something, and in a space that isn't just about the basics, but also allows us to move beyond it. More of those panels, more of those discussions with a couple people just out loud. We have the capacity to do that. So let me be part of your conversations, not just by being a guest on the podcast, but also by allowing me to just amplify the conversations that you're already having related to the shit that people like us talk about anyway. That's what this is about. So please invite people in who are in conversation with you about how you're raising free people and your barriers and your building blocks for that. And reach out to me and each other here about just group discussions, and then reach out to me like, yo, can you set this up so we could do this on the podcast, right? Can we do that? Can we do that? Please say yes. Somebody say yes.